welcome to your Senate, the Philippine Senate. Yes, Senator Francis Tolentino is recognized.
Mr. President, magandang hapon po. A few days ago, Mr. President, while I was not physically present, this representation was informed of a manifestation made by one of our colleagues here concerning a supposed to be prejudicial question, quote-unquote, relative to these chambers lacking the required or appropriate procedure to amend or revise the 1987 Constitution, Mr. President. Mr. President, just as a manifestation, this representation already filed resolution number 941, a resolution adopting rules to amend and or revise the 1987 Constitution, Mr. President. And the submission of this representation, Mr. President, is that this should be tackled or addressed immediately by the Committee on Rules, since it would supplant or supplement the gaps existing right now in the Senate Rules of Procedure, Mr. President. Just a manifestation, Mr. President.
Yes, the majority leaders.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We take note of the manifestation of the distinguished gentleman from Cavite, Senator Francis Tolentino. This was also, again, the subject of Senator Escudero's manifestation last February 28, Mr. President. I have here with me a copy of the gentleman's resolution, PS resolution number 941. In view of this, Mr. President, we'd like to state into the records that immediately after the agreement between this representation and members of this institution, including our Senate Minority Leader, we immediately released, Mr. President, the notice of meeting of the Committee on Rules last February 29, and it is scheduled this Wednesday, Mr. President, March 6. And we also take note of the resolution of the gentleman from Cavite, PSR resolution number 941, today, which was filed today, Mr. President, and which will be referred to the Committee on Rules. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, the majority leader. Does that satisfy our distinguished colleague from Cavite?
Mr. President, at this juncture, I move that we dispense with the reading of the journals of the 56th session Tuesday, February 27, 2024, and 57th session Wednesday, February 28, 2024, and consider the same as approved.
There be no objection to the motion. Motion is approved.
Mr. President, I move that we proceed with the reference of business.
There be no objection. We ask Secretary to proceed with the reference of business.
Bills on first reading. Senate number 2574, an act converting the Metro Naga Development Council into the Metro Naga Development Authority, defining its powers and functions, providing funds therefore and for other purposes, introduced by Senators Tolentino, De La Rosa, and Ejercito.
To the Committees on Local Government, Government Corporations, and Finance.
2576, an act standardizing the retirement benefits of justice, judges, and judiciary officials with judicial rank, salary, and privileges, and appropriate funds therefore, amending for the purpose RA 910 as amended by Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committee on Civil Service, Justice, and Finance.
2577, declaring the Verde Island Passage located in the province of Batangas, Marinduque, Occidental Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro, and Romblon, an ecotourism zone, Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committees on Tourism, Environment, and Finance.
2578, protecting the rights of all workers, organizations, and unions from interference by their employers, public authorities, or their agents, and providing penalties for violations thereof, Senator Revilla Jr.
To the Committee on Labor, Employment, and Human Resource Development.
2579, an act providing for the registration, regulation, and operation of cooperative banks, Senator Villar M.
To the Committee on Banks, Cooperatives, and Ways and Means.
Resolution, proposed Senate Resolution 939, directing the Senate Committee on Public Services to conduct an inquiry to assess the viability of imposing a mandatory comprehensive insurance coverage requirement for government vehicles, by Senator Tulfo.
To the Committee on Rules.
Committee Report 211, jointly by the Committees on Basic Education, Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality, and Finance, on Senate number 2575 with Senators Angara, Gatchalian, Villanueva, Revilla Jr. and Ontiveros as authors. An act ensuring the alignment of basic education and early childhood care and development, amending for the purpose RA 10410, otherwise known as the Early Years Act of 2013, appropriating funds therefore. Recommending its approval in substitution of Senate numbers 1754 and 2029, sponsor Senator Gatchalian.
To the calendar for ordinary business. There's additional reference to business. Please proceed.
Additional reference of business, bills on first reading, Senate number 2580, extending the corporate life of the Power Sector Assets and Liabilities Management Corporation, amending for the purpose Section 50 of RA 9136, otherwise known as the Electric Power Industry Reform Act of 2001, by Senator Tulfo.
To the Committee on Government Corporations and Energy.
2581, declaring the 3rd of March of every year as a special day for the commemoration of Philippines-South Korea Friendship Day. Senator Pimentel III.
To the Committee on Culture and Arts, Foreign Relations and Finance.
Resolutions. Proposed Senate Resolution 940, directing the appropriate Senate Committee to conduct an inquiry into the irregular disposition and sale of the National Food Authority repackaged rice stocks to certain rice traders at low prices. Senator Marcos.
To the Committees on Accountability of Public Officers, Investigation, Agriculture, Food and Environment Reform.
941, resolution adopting rules to amend and/or revise the 1987 Constitution. Senator Tolentino.
To the Committee on Rules.
942, resolution expressing the profound sympathy and sincere condolences of the Senate of the Philippines on the death of highly acclaimed Filipino actress Jaclyn Jose on 2 March 2024. Senator Estrada.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to consider on third reading Senate Bill number 2352. This is the bill on the Jail Integration Act. Printed copies of the measure were electronically distributed to the members on February 27, 2024, in compliance with the 3-day rule in the Constitution.
There be no objection. The motion is approved. We ask Secretary to read the title of the measure and proceed with the roll call vote.
An act transferring the control and supervision of the provincial and sub-provincial jails to the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, appropriating funds therefore and for other purposes. Roll call vote. The Honorable Senator Angara, Senator Binay, Senator Cayetano Alan, Senator Cayetano Pia, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Ejercito, Senator Escudero, Senator Estrada, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go, Senator Ontiveros, Senator Lapid, Senator Legarda, Senator Marcos, Senator Padilla, Senator Pimentel, Senator Poe, Senator Revilla, Senator Tolentino, Senator Tulfo, Senator Villanueva, Senator Villar Cynthia, Senator Villar Mark, the Senate President.
Yes. With 19 affirmative votes, 0 negative votes, 0 abstentions, Senate Bill number 2352 is approved on third reading.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We congratulate our dear colleague, Senator Bato de la Rosa, who is also seeking the floor, Mr. President. May I ask that he be recognized, Mr. President?
Yes, congratulations, our dear colleague. Senator Bato de la Rosa is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President, Majority Leader. Mr. President, together with esteemed colleagues, Senate President Mig Subiri, Senator Bong Revilla Jr., Senator J.B. Ejercito, and Majority Leader Senator Joel Villanueva, I wish to take this opportunity to thank this august chamber. Today, Senate Bill number 2352, or the Jail Integration Act, is approved on third reading. While delegation is perhaps the truest form of trustworthiness, it should not reach a point that it becomes more of a burden rather than a noble duty. When I defended this bill on the floor, Mr. President, interpellated by our ever-sharp Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Risa Hontiveros, that was one of the fruits of that exchange. Indeed, by turning over the management and supervision of our provincial and sub-provincial jail from the provincial government to the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, those jails stand to benefit not only from the expertise and world-class standards that the BJMP sets for itself, but more importantly, from the BJMP's national programs. Also, as I have mentioned before, the LGUs will benefit from this measure too. They will be liberated from functions that tend to divide their attention and limited resources, such as these endeavors that may very well be performed by a government agency that specializes in these matters, such as the BJMP. Correction and reformation take a great deal of time and expertise. As such, they should be delegated to agencies whose primary function has always been the rehabilitation of persons deprived of liberty or PDLs. When there is a unified, integrated way of dealing with PDLs, then we can also set a unified and integrated vision for them. This somehow gives them the message the entire government is looking after you. Our laws have always acknowledged and recognized local authority and their ability to address community concerns. However, it is our belief that special circumstances require special attention and dedication. We have always advocated for devolution and decentralization, but we also maintain our conviction that whenever necessary, whenever possible, we must take a more holistic approach to our government programs. To the BJMP headed by the competent leadership of Jail Director Roel S. Rivera, congratulations are in order. But more importantly, let this be concrete proof of how much your Senate trusts you. That popular saying shall always ring true. To whom much is given, much is also expected. Sa bawat provincial at sub-provincial jail na iti-turn over sa inyo, lagi niyong isa sa isip at isa sa puso kung ano ang ibig sabihin ito. May mga panibagong PDL na aasa sa kalinga ninyo. They may be deprived of liberty, but they should never be deprived of the basic human need to be properly looked after. Maraming salamat, Mr. President, at mga minamahal kong kasama, dahil kaisa ko kayo sa hangarin na ito. Thank you for supporting this vision.
Maraming salamat, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Congratulations to you and to the, of course, the BJMP family.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this juncture, the following are House concurrent resolutions on amnesties that require the concurrence of this august chamber as provided for under the Constitution. Number 1 is House Concurrent Resolution Number 19, granting amnesty to members of the Revolutionaryong Partido ng Manggagawa ng Pilipinas, Revolutionary Proletarian Army, Alex Bongcayaw Brigade, RPMP, RPA, ABB. Number 2, House Concurrent Resolution Number 21, granting amnesty to members of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, MILF. And number 3, House Concurrent Resolution Number 22, granting amnesty of members of the Moro National Liberation Front, or MNLF. Mr. President, at this juncture, and with the consent of the body, I move that we vote for adoption of House Concurrent Resolution Number 19. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection to the motion? There being none, House Concurrent Resolution Number 19 is hereby. Before we act, we'll ask the Secretary to read the title of the measure. The Majority Leader read it already, so it's...
Yes.
But we'll ask the Secretary to read the title of the measure.
Concurrent resolution concurring with proclamation number 403 of the President of the Republic of the Philippines dated November 22, 2023, entitled Granting Amnesty to Members of the Revolutionaryong Partido ng Manggagawa ng Pilipinas, Revolutionary Proletarian Army, Alex Bongcayaw Brigade, who have committed crimes punishable under the revised penal code and special penal laws in furtherance of their political beliefs.
Please proceed with the roll call vote.
Roll call vote. The Honorable Senator Angara, Senator Binay, Senator Cayetano Alan, Senator Cayetano Pia, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Ejercito, Senator Escudero, Senator Estrada, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go, Senator Antiveros, Senator Lapid, Senator Legarda, Senator Marcos, Senator Padilla, Senator Pimentel, Senator Poe, Senator Revilla, Senator Tolentino, Senator Tulfo, Senator Villanueva,
Yes.
Senator Villar Cynthia, Senator Villar Mark, the Senate President.
Yes. With 19 affirmative votes, 0 negative votes, 0 abstentions, House Concurrent Resolution Number 19 is approved and adopted by the Senate.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. At this juncture and with the consent of the body, I move that we vote for adoption of House Concurrent Resolution number 21. I so move, Mr. President.
There being no objection, we ask Secretary to read the title of the measure and proceed with the roll call vote.
Concurrent resolution concurring with proclamation number 405 of the President of the Republic of the Philippines, dated November 22, 2023, entitled Granting Amnesty to Members of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front who have committed crimes punishable under the revised penal code and special penal laws in furtherance of their political beliefs. Roll call vote. The Honorable Senator Angara, Senator Binay, Senator Cayetano Alan, Senator Cayetano Pia, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Ejercito, Senator Escudero, Senator Estrada, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go, Senator Ontiveros, Senator Lapid, Senator Legarda, Senator Marcos, Senator Padilla, Senator Pimentel, Senator Poe, Senator Revilla, Senator Tolentino, Senator Tulfo, Senator Villanueva,
Yes.
Senator Villar Cynthia, Senator Villar Mark, the Senate President.
With 19 affirmative votes, 0 negative votes, 0 abstentions, House Concurrent Resolution number 21 is hereby adopted by the Senate.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This juncture and with the consent of the body, I move that we vote for adoption of House Concurrent Resolution number 22. I so move, Mr. President.
There being no objection to the motion, we ask Secretary to proceed with reading the title of the measure and the roll call vote.
Concurrent resolution concurring with proclamation number 406 of the President of the Republic of the Philippines, dated November 22, 2023, entitled Granting Amnesty to Members of the Moro National Liberation Front who have committed crimes punishable under the revised penal code and special penal laws in furtherance of their political beliefs. Roll call vote. The Honorable Senator Angara, Senator Binay, Senator Cayetano Alan, Senator Cayetano Pia, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Ejercito, Senator Escudero, Senator Estrada, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Go, Senator Ontiveros, Senator Lapid, Senator Legarda, Senator Marcos, Senator Padilla, Senator Pimentel, Senator Poe, Senator Revilla, Senator Tolentino, Senator Tulfo, Senator Villanueva,
Yes.
Senator Villar Cynthia, Senator Villar Mark, the Senate President.
With 19 affirmative votes, 0 abstentions, 0 negative votes, House Concurrent Resolution number 22 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We congratulate our distinguished sponsor, Senator Jinggoy Estrada, who is also seeking the floor. I move that he be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Estrada is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I would like to place on record my sincerest gratitude to my honorable colleagues for supporting the adoption of House Concurrent Resolutions 19, 21, and 22, concurring with Presidential Proclamation numbers 403, 405, and 406, which grants amnesty to the members of the Revolutionaryong Partido ng Manggagawa ng Pilipinas, Revolutionary Proletarian Army, Alex Bongkaya Brigade, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, and the Moro National Liberation Front, respectively. The congressional concurrence to the aforementioned presidential proclamation signifies the Filipino people's support to the comprehensive peace efforts and genuine commitment of the government to attaining lasting peace. As your chairman of the Committee on National Defense and Security, Peace, Unification, and Reconciliation, as of now, I am truly honored and privileged to sponsor these measures that will foster healing and social cohesion and will provide the window to end internal armed conflicts and rebellion which have already cost the country a staggering amount of lost economic opportunities and the lives of countless Filipinos. We thank the esteemed members of this august chamber, under the leadership of Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri, as well as our minority floor leader, Senator Coco Pimentel, who happens to be both proud and renowned sons of the great Mindanao region, for prioritizing our committee reports and allowing this representation to defend these important measures amid the very hectic legislative agenda. Warmest thanks to the officials of the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, or the OPA-PRU, led by Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., the National Amnesty Commission, led by Chairperson Attorney Lea Tanodra Armamento, and Commissioners Jamar Kulayan and Nasser Maruham Salik, as well as the officials from the Justice and National Defense Departments for their kind assistance and patience. Lastly, we wish to place on record, upon the request of our good minority leader during the period of interpellation, that we have already talked to the Opapro family, and the committee will soon facilitate a briefing about the status of our peace agreements. Please expect an invitation from them soon. Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, this juncture, the distinguished gentleman from Nueva Ecija and Camarines Norte, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, is seeking the floor. May I move that he be recognized for his short manifestation, Mr. President?
Senator Padilla is recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo at Pinunong Mayorya. Ginoong Pangulo, meron pong malungkot na pangyayari. Isa pong pagluluksa ang nangyayari po sa mundo ng pelikulang Pilipino at telebisyon patungkol po sa biglaang pagpanaw ng atin pong ginagalang at hinahangaan na artistang Pilipino na nagngangalang Jaclyn Jose. Siya po ay kilala, siya po ay masasabi nating award-winning. Siya po ay nagkaroon ng Best Actress Award sa Cannes Film Festival na kinikilala po sa buong daigdig at nagbigay po sa atin ng karangalan sa bansang Pilipinas. At siya din po ay naging parang propesora, teacher sa mga batang artista, inspirasyon sa mga batang artista, katulad po nila Coco Martin, katulad din po sa aking anak na si Kylie Padilla. Hinihingi ko po sa aking mga kasama dito sa Senado na maging kasama po kayo sa pakikiramay sa kanyang pamilya sa biglaang pagyao po ng ating hinahangaan at minamahal na si Jaclyn Jose. Kasama ko po dito sa manifestasyon na ito ay sila Senator Bong Revilla Jr., Senator Jinggoy Estrada, Senator Grace po, at sa lahat po ng mga senador na meron pong puwang sa puso ang mundo ng pelikulang Pilipino at telebisyon. Muli po, hinihingi ko po sa inyo ang pakikiramay po natin kay Mary Jane Santa Ana Gok, also known as Jaclyn Jose. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo.
Maraming salamat, Senator Padilla. Gusto din po natin na sabihin na the Senate extends its deepest condolences, sincerest condolences to the family of our actress, the famous actress, award-winning actress, Jaclyn Jose. And maybe in the proper time, we can pass a resolution honoring her as soon as possible, maybe today, and invite the family so that we can turn over the
May I ask for a minute
Yes, if-
suspension, Mr. President? Just for a minute suspension.
session suspended.
Yes, Mr. President, we'd like to state into the records, Mr. President, that there's an overwhelming support coming from the members of the Senate to extend our deepest gratitude, thanks, and condolences to the family of the late Miss Jaclyn Jose, Mr. President. And at the proper time, we will tackle, Mr. President, and pass a resolution of commendation celebrating the life of the award-winning actress, Miss Jaclyn Jose, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Majority Leader. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Mr. President, Senator Tolentino is also seeking the floor. May I move that he be recognized, Mr. President?
Senator Tolentino, our
President.
distinguished colleague from the province of Cavite, is recognized.
Just an anterior manifestation, Mr. President. I should have rose when Senate Bill 2352 was approved on third reading. Just a manifestation, Mr. President, and with the concurrence of the principal author, Senator De La Rosa, may this representation be made the co-author of Senate Bill, the just approved Senate Bill 2352 relative to the transfer of the control and supervision of provincial jails to the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology, Mr. President.
We take note of the manifestation.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. President, may I ask for one Senate minute break, Mr. President?
Yes, session is suspended for 1 Senate minute.